start with Iran. According to Iran's commander of the Revolutionary Guard's Aerospace Division, the country's stockpile of missiles has grown significantly since last year's 12-day war with Israel. He has emphasized that the country is at the peak of its military readiness, with wartime damages repaired and missile production surpassing pre-war levels. This statement comes amid rising tensions, particularly with U.S. President Donald Trump's recent threats of intervention and ongoing anti-government protests in Iran. The increase in missile capacity highlights Iran's ongoing focus on bolstering its defense capabilities. Now, for this discussion, we welcome retired Major General Sudhakarji. He's a senior strategic and international affairs expert, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Major General, for joining us once again. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Major General, now looking at Iran's capabilities, how do you analyze this situation? What's their capacity like? Do you think they will be? Do you think we can believe that they have this huge stockpile right now and they are ready to counter attacks?
That's a moot question, Asoma. Good evening. Thank you for inviting me to your channel. And it is anybody's guess, but the fact of the matter remains that between June and January, almost about more than 6 months have passed by, and Iran does have defense industry capability to rejuvenate itself and go in for escalating or speeding up the production of missiles and warlike stores. First thing that comes to my mind as a military man is, does Iran have adequate air defense to beat or face the attacking echelons of USA? Because if you look at air resources or the resources of USA that have been mobilized, this is perhaps for the first time such loud threatening calls are being given by USA to carry out regime change and prohibit or stop Iran from going nuclear and whatever, and also bring in the Reza Pahlavi, who's exiled son of Shah, the eldest son, who's in USA, to bring him into Iran. But going by a very serious fact check, what actually emerges, Asoma, is that Iran has, yes, been able to consolidate, but that consolidation may not be good enough and big enough to face the challenges of USA. Okay, that is the first thing, the air defense. Air defense, I have got the list of air defense weapon systems they have been able to revive or produce between June and there are almost about 1,700 anti-aircraft guns, including 14.5 mm ZPU-2/4, 23 mm ZSU. This will mean nothing to common civilians who listen to all this, but they have sufficient. But that sufficient number of air defense is not good enough to actually beat the cyber, the electromagnetic attack, and the terminal guided missiles, which may be launched from aerial platform as also from standard platform. Now, having said that, Iran has got a huge arsenal of missiles, starting from, say surface to air missiles, surface to surface. They have tactical, medium range and long range missiles going right up to Israel and the coast of Mediterranean and maybe up to Turkey. But one thing which is not getting highlighted is the number of hypersonic missiles and the Kajikamit, the killer, what do you call that? The killer drones. They have got a Shine variety of drones which are available with them. They can be used by the proxies who are operating, call it Houthis, call it the Hamas or Hezbollah, as also Hadil al-Saib and the militias who are operating in Iraq in proximity of Israel. But the most important out of all this is that America, as on today, they have not mobilized a single aircraft carrier. Whenever they go to launch any attack against any nation and leave alone the regime change, at least one aircraft carrier should be standby. The aircraft carrier which was there near the Bahrain headquarters has got sidestepped to Caribbean waters for the operations which were launched against Venezuela. That is yet to be reverted back to Bahrain. That is Gerald S. Ford and no other aircraft carrier, all the 11 aircraft carriers of USA, they are committed on ground. They have not left their docks or the bases wherever they are deployed. So in absence of an aircraft carrier, I have my doubts whether they are serious about the attack against Iran. Although the report suggests that there are huge aerial resources which have been mobilized to Europe and Middle East, etc. etc. Number two, there are 19, minimum 19 bases of America which are there in Middle East. All the 19 bases are within the target range of Iran. They have been some of them have been targeted in the past, and this time I also suspect that they will be able to neutralize, if not all, the majority of these bases where the American soldiers are deployed, as also the warlike stores, including the aerial assets. Third and most important thing is the effectiveness of the defensive measure of the US forces which are deployed, namely the Patriot missiles. Whether the Patriot missiles will be effective or not, take your mind back to 2019 against the Aramco, and the Houthis had actually carried out attack against the Saudi Arabia oil refinery, and they had managed to penetrate through the air defense ecosystem which had been deployed and target and hit the targets they had selected initially. So therefore, it is going to be a very difficult thing as per the ground resources seen and visible as per the satellite images as on today from America, until unless the number of aircraft, the aircraft carriers, the frigates, they come in. And last but not the least, that the Strait of Hormuz is a very important landmark which is dominated by Iran and its IRGC as also conventional forces. Almost about 20% of the global trade and oil passes through this. So therefore, any interdiction activity by Iranian forces will also impact the flow of oil along the sea of lanes of communication, thereby putting pressure on the oil market of the global order, which willy-nilly will impact USA as well. So under these circumstances, it is very premature to say that is USA genuinely going to carry out attack, or it is a kind of a isolation measure, or it is an investment around Tehran, or although the CIA modules are already operating in Iran and particularly in Tehran, but taking advantage of the protest. Even the protest is also divided. These are not genuine protesters. There are some people who are protesting against the regime and demanding regime change primarily because of the weak economy. And some of them are being provocated and instigated by the CIA modules and the Mossad module to carry on with this thing, so that when the time comes, maybe 5 or 6 weeks from now, when the resources of American armed forces are mobilized and they invest around in the proximity of Iran from all sides, only then perhaps we may anticipate some kind of an attack, unless he is planning to do something like operation which hijacked Maduro from his bedroom and his wife and took him out. But my gut feeling is that the supreme leader of Iran, he is under excessive pressure. He may be exiting Iran anytime soon, maybe Moscow, maybe any other country, and therefore it may be almost in the proximity or close to a situation wherein America will have a field day, will have a field run right up to Tehran and carry out the regime change anytime soon than that we expect. Back to you, Asuma.
Thank you very much, Major General Sudhakarji, for sharing that. Please stay with us as we come back to you for our next discussion as well. Now, moving the focus on to your